It's August and very sunny. Last month, July, I harbour hopped along the south coast to Cornwall. This month it's the turn of visiting friends from Derbyshire to share gentle sails around the Solent. We're just leaving Portsmouth Harbour.
This is Amanda and Rob, who have come to go sailing for a few days, and we're just about to go into Cowes. We've just sailed from Portsmouth or Gosport. Very, very light wind, and it's just perked up a treat. And we're hoping to find a meal at the Folly because it's Amanda's birthday. Here we are up at the Folly after a sumptuous meal cooked by that lovely Amanda lady. This one here, look. Which Rob enjoyed enormously, especially the caterpillar cake.
I don't know how she makes it.
And the weather's beautiful. It's been very, very hot, but it's starting to cool down, thank goodness. I hope it's not quite as hot as this tomorrow. After a really nice night at the Folly, up the Medina, we're now heading for Newtown Creek with virtually no wind. I mean, it just isn't any. So we're motoring at the moment, and this is where we're going to go down here at Newtown Creek, and this is Cowes where we just come out of. We've got 5.1 knots over the ground, but we're only doing about 2.5 knots under engine, and the rest of it is the tide that's carrying us down there. This is Rob and Amanda baking. It's really quite warm. We're all well sunscreened up and hats and all the good stuff. But there are a few boats out here, but nobody's making any real way under sail.
There's the entrance to Newtown Creek. We motored in and found a place to anchor for lunch, but it got very crowded later, so we left to look elsewhere.
Not much wind, but we're plugging away up towards Beaulieu. That's where we're going at the moment. We're against the tide, so we're getting close inshore to help us make way. And it's Rob's fault if it doesn't work properly. But he's doing all right. He's doing surprisingly well. We're being chased by a little boat over there. Well, it's not a little boat actually, it's quite an expensive swan, and I'm quite pleased to see that we're actually holding them off. They've not caught up with us at all. This is the entrance to the Beaulieu River. We have to keep the red triangular contraption to our left, and then we go down between the red and green piles all the way along in the deep water channel into the river itself. This is Rob navigating, concentrating very hard. Well, that's what he tells me. With a bar into the Beaulieu River, another boat who was coming in behind us has gone aground, and we've just got 1.3 feet under the keel at the moment, creeping in just to see if we can get over the bar. A wee bit touch and go. Once we're through this wavy bit, which is the bar, then it'll get deeper, but we're down to about a foot under the keel at the moment. It's the bathing beauties washing their feet. This is us beating to windward against the tide as always on our way back to Gosport. We had a lovely night in Beaulieu, and this is the start of Lyon Solent, and we're just making our way along the coast in short tacks against the tide. Plenty of wind, which has been a pleasant change from the rest of the few days when it's been very quiet, so we're very comfortable in 14 feet of water. We'll have to tack in a minute, but there you go, it's pretty good. According to the plotter, we're doing 5.2 knots over the ground. Unfortunately, it's mainly south. Some of it that will be leeway, but most of it is a little bit of tide left against us. But we need to get to Gilkicker Point, which is just there, and then we can go round and into the harbour, into Portsmouth Harbour. So we're getting there. We're getting there. It's been a bit of a long thrash all afternoon, but there's lovely sunshine out there, and the boat's chonking along quite nicely.
There's always something interesting to see in Portsmouth Harbour, like this lovely tall ship, and of course the latest 2 aircraft carriers. Back safely on her mooring, Rob and Amanda left to go back home to Derbyshire, and I waited for my next visitor. Those of you who watched the Summer of Sailing in 2021 might recognise this chap, Richard, who came last year and survived a bit of a blow in the Channel. He was due to come for a week, but car problems delayed him, and he arrived by train. I'm going across on the Gosport ferry now to collect him. The following day, we decided that we'd have a go at sailing round the Isle of Wight. The tides were pretty much perfect. The ebb would be helping us down to the Needles, and the flood helping us round the outside. All we needed was a decent breeze. So off we went, motoring out of Portsmouth Harbour to have a go. Well, our trip to around the Isle of Wight is not going stunningly well. We've had a bit of motoring, and then we had a bit of wind, and we're now off Hill Head, and there's absolutely no wind. The wet finger doesn't even detect any, so the boat's just going round in a gentle circle at the moment. I can see wind on the water way in the distance there, so I think it will fill in eventually, but at the moment it's Harry Flatters, and we're just having a cup of tea, and it's a nice day, so just enjoy it really. But our hopes of getting down to the Needles by about 2 o'clock look pretty vague now. This is Richard hanging on. We've got some wind at last, and we're beating out near Yarmouth, and what we thought we would do is to go out to the Needles, which is over there. Can't quite see it, just around the corner. Go out to the Needles and see what it's like, maybe come back, maybe go round. Probably come back, actually, it's a bit late now, but
There's lots of boats out here, and the wind's piped up a real treat, and we're all zooming around having the time of our lives. It's a lovely day. Look at those clouds. Well, we're just going past Hurst Castle, which is behind me, and heading up the Needles Channel. We're not quite going to make it on this tack, but the tide's with us and it's helping, so we'll do what we can. But the wind's perked up a treat, and there's not too much sea. It's very pleasant. Here we are coming up to the Needles Lighthouse. It's a bit foggy out here, so I think it's just sea fret, just the moist air going up the hill and condensing. We can still see across the pool, so it's something 20 odd miles away, so it can't be that bad. But we're just going to go out and have a look and see what it looks like, and make a decision. We're getting a bit closer now, and we can feel the swell from the channel. The wind's disappointingly low, actually. I was hoping that we would be up in the sort of 17 to 19 knot mark. There's very little wind out here, so we decided we're not going to continue. It'll take a long time to get back to Portsmouth, and we're going to make our way back into the Solent. This is Alum Bay with all the different coloured sands. If I zoom in, I don't know whether you'll be able to see it, but there's actually a cable car that runs people up from the beach up to the top, and vice versa. The different colours really show up today. When I came past a few weeks ago, it was nowhere near as distinct as it is now. Here we are going downwind in the Solent with the asymmetrical spinnaker. Here we are at Beaulieu, Buckler's Hard, just moored up on the other side of the fuel berth. We're here for a couple of hours. We're going to go and visit the Buckler's Hard Museum.
In the 17 and 1800s, Buckler's Hard was very busy building ships for the Navy, some of which were involved in the Battle of Trafalgar. These are the remains of the slips where the vessels were built, and many of the shipwrights lived in these houses built on each side of the road to the slips. We visited the museum at the top of the road. Years ago, I had the good fortune to meet and play along with Stan. We are both melodeon players. He was a lovely chap.
We're just motoring into the mouth of the Hamble River, having had a lovely sail from Beaulieu and beat to windward up Southampton water as far as Hamble. And we're going to go up the River Hamble and have a little explore. Haven't been there for some time, and maybe find a mooring. So there's Southampton up there, and big oil tankers over there, look. That's the Beaulieu oil refinery. What's what? No. Our little birdie friends, who the last thing they want to do is fly. So when we go off and untie the boat, they'll all rustle along the pontoon. We're just about to leave. We're in the Hamble River mouth on Harbour Master's moorings. Very quiet night, apart from the motorboats going past. Feel the westerly going past over there? They're everywhere. We're just gone past Cowshot Spit and negotiating our way around the shipping channel. There's a great big tanker over there, look. Who definitely has got right away, along with his tugs and the companion harbour board launch. And we've got the Isle of Wight ferry heading straight for us at the moment, which is disconcerting. But we are just outside the channel. We might get out the way of the ferry, I think. Might be a good idea. That's that posh looking tanker, isn't it? Looks like it's freshly painted. There's a tug at the stern who is actually effectively steering the boat. He's pulling the stern round to get it round in the deep water channel. Deep water channel is quite small, and there's a lot of precautions being taken. We're not allowed to go within 1,000 yards or meters, 1,000 meters of the front of that. In any case, all these tugs and what have you would have prevented us anyway. We had an interesting escapade with the Isle of Wight ferry, he's gone way out of the channel to get up to Southampton. That was, I don't know, anyway. We didn't hit anything, that's the important thing. We're We're just heading into Cowes, where we're going to buy some more diesel, top up the diesel tanks. It's been a long motor all the way. There's virtually no wind at all. Oh, you can see the cannons. The brass cannons that are used to start all the yacht races, especially for Cowes Week. We're at the fuel berth in Cowes, and we're moored up. There's a fuel pump, and there's a guy behind us who's just popped in behind.
Okay, thank you for your help.
And this lot all here are all waiting for us to get some fuel, but there's a bit of a hold up at the moment.
Once we'd filled up with fuel, we headed back out into the Solent and then used the asymmetrical spinnaker to sail slowly back to Portsmouth Harbour and Gosport.
I had a bit of a problem coming in from yesterday's sailing. I tripped and fell against the throttle lever and broke it off, which left us going very, very quickly up the harbour. I won't tell you all the complications of getting into the berth with almost no engine control, but it was quite exciting. So next job is to get some new bits for this. So we're packing up at the moment and getting ready to go back home again.